Hi, I'm Veronica Lee. This is your weekly transformational forecast for the week of November 22nd, 2021. In the United States, it is the week of Thanksgiving, and so I do want to just put a intention out there that the energy that Thanksgiving was so-called founded on is not necessarily in alignment with many of us, but the idea and essence that it has transformed into about being thankful for what is in our lives is something that is resonant with me. And what I want to share this week are the energies of movement and almost like a sense of dissolving. So in essence, one of the things that's been going on for us collectively is we've been moving through a lot of our deeper stuff. This is what I've been sharing for the past couple of weeks. A lot of what I would call that shadowy aspect, the unconscious parts of ourselves, and the wounds and the traumas. In short, this isn't just like, we are going to have a few bad weeks where we're going to move into this deep, dark stuff, transform it all and all is well. For many of us, this is a process that takes, this touching in, moving things around, and then coming back out for a breath and going back in to do some healing. And yet, I also want to clarify that as we awaken, things are speeding up. Things are speeding up in such a way that we might find that we had some kind of trauma or habit or something that was really hooked into us, and suddenly it's just gone. And then sure, we were doing work, all along in the past, and then it came to a point where it became a non-issue, and suddenly we recognize that that thing doesn't really come up anymore. It's not hooking us. And maybe once in a blue moon, we might have a little tinge of something left over. But other than that, it's simply resolved. So this idea of dissolving is also coming up in places where we're trying to refresh and renew from a place of almost like a clean slate. So again, it's not, I'm trying to use the language as best I can when I get all this information, but it's almost like a sense of a restart, and we are really trying to clear out a lot of these wounds, not just so we can be more content, but so that when we are being refreshed, when we are in this place of renewal, what we're stemming from is not the stuff that we don't want. So as long as we are open to letting things truly go, and we hold this vision of absolute surrender and trust that what is happening on a soul level is in fact for our highest good, then it makes it much easier to roll with that process. If you are looking for anything to hook into, like to land on, it may feel a little difficult right now, or maybe the ground feels like it's still shaking. So there's a sort of a place of, I can kind of see what I'm wanting. I can kind of see what I'd like to hook my, teeth into, and yet it seems to not be graspable at this time. And that goes for physical things. It might go for, let's say, emotional things or your health, but it's also going for this sort of landing place as us, as who we are becoming, as who we want to be. So lots have cleared. And what I invite you to do is just look at the past 3 years or so and where you were maybe 3 Thanksgivings ago, and see how much you've grown in terms of your ability to step away from situations a little more confidently without getting so caught up in them, in your ability to listen more keenly to what your soul is wanting of you, in your ability to have a sense of what you want, but not necessarily so, painstakingly grasping at it in a sort of a hyper vigilant kind of way that you have to have this or else, but these are the types of things that I'm seeing in general, that our progress is a lot greater than we realize because of this place of settling into who we are more comfortably, and a lot of our old stuff really letting go. So a lot going on, and at the same time it's still residual from the past couple of weeks of a lot of dissolving, a lot of letting go, a lot of traumas coming up, potentially still some more aches and pains in the body, and not necessarily something to hook into, but those visions of potential are showing up more. So with that, have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you next Monday.